2025 is here. How are we all doing? Who do I have here? Who do I have? Who dey me house? Who dey me yard? Welcome to Mind Your Character with Olusola-Obasa, the show that never ever lives in the same way. And by that, we mean that we always leave you better. How is your new year turning out already? I hope there's plenty to be grateful for already. If you ask me, that's what I advise. Be thankful, be grateful. Things are definitely going to be better. So I don't have a New Year speech for you. I'm just saying welcome. Welcome. And I'm starting on a very interesting note this new year. We're looking at something rather interesting, and it has something to do with the training that will be coming up on January 25. I told you last year that I have a lot for you in terms of plenty things to take advantage of in this year 2025. And so here we are. God has given us the opportunity plus privilege to be here. Thank you for being part of this. Let me do New Year dance. All right. Okay, so as I attempt to go into what I've got today, let me first of all tell you about grow from self-worth to net worth. Grow from self-worth to net worth. It's a personal development training coming up on January 25. Everything you will become this year depends on who you are becoming or who you become. So this is so important. If you are not too busy to do personal development, if you believe in the brand RCV, if you believe that we are good for that role that we play in personal development across building the right attitudes to work, to life, to relationship, to family, to business, to career. If you think that you know that you know that you know that we are great at what we do, join us, join us, join me in class on January 25. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday and it's going to be phenomenal. I will be leading you through some thought-provoking experiences. I'll be sharing some personal stuff and I'll also be training from a place of experience as well as exposure and education. Your self-worth is not all about your self-esteem like some people think. Your self-worth is the value that you communicate. Begin with your name, how you relate with people, what values you bring to the table wheresoever you find yourself, what quality of person you are or you're becoming, how deliberate and intentional you should be about that, and how it eventually grows a capital for you, grows a net worth for you, and that net worth can become anything beautiful. Today, I have decided to begin a series on how to convert intangible assets to tangible gains. How to convert intangible assets to tangible gains. I am going to be running a series build up to January 25. You know the way I do it, I'll be whetting your appetite so that you know what you are losing if you are not joining, if you are not jumping in. If you want to be part of that training and you need any other inquiry apart from what we have on our social media platform, you can check our TV character. You will find all of the details there. You can also check Mind Your Character. You'll find all of the details there about the training. Particularly if you check the flyer, which is either my DP or my cover photo, you will find the details in the flyer. It's 25th day of January. We are beginning at 9 a.m., but we'll be in class. We would have assembled before then, so you can have your tea in the morning and then settle in, network with other people, and then settle in to get value. This year was answered to you, and so many things will be responsible for it. So one of those things that can become your game changer this year is this training. So you wait until I'm done with this show and every other show, and you find out all that you're going to miss if you don't, because it's not possible that I'm telling you everything that there is for you to gain in the training. So whatever I'm telling you, if it makes sense to you, then it's just a tip of the iceberg. So let's go. How to convert intangible assets to tangible gains. And there's just one of them I'm going to eventually solve. But let me introduce the entire topic to you. Let me introduce the entire topic. So, what are intangible assets? From the word intangible, we talk about something you cannot hold, something you cannot feel, something you cannot touch. You cannot hold it, you cannot touch it, you cannot feel it. They are intangible, but they are assets. So, how are assets intangible? That's why I'm here. For instance, the product that we sell in RCB is an intangible product, but we look for tangible ways to push it out there so that people understand it and they are able to take advantage of it. So if there's any organization that can tell you so well about how possible intangibles can be in terms of affecting your tangibility, then it's RCB that can do that for you. Ha! What are intangibles? They belong to the class of social capital assets. So intangibles are those assets that cannot be touched, they cannot be felt, they cannot be handled physically. So they are non-physical assets. Non-physical assets. Non-physical assets. Businesses and human beings can own intangible assets. So a business can have a cashier, an archive, a bank, or a repository of intangible assets. So can an individual. So it applies to both you as a person and the business you're running or the business you belong to. That's it. Intangible assets. I like to bring this down a bit. I like to bring this down a bit. I like the music, but I like to bring it down a bit. Too much. Good. So intangible assets are assets that can not be held or felt, like literally in themselves. They are non-physical assets. Intangible assets are non-physical assets, but they are very real. So I did say that companies can own intangible assets, individuals can own intangible assets. That said again, generally, intangible assets can include ideas, they can include knowledge, they can include innovations, they can include intellectual property. Guess what? They include brands, they include trust, they include reputation, they include goodwill. So you are beginning to come home to what I mean. So you find out that there are actually things that you know, but you don't know that they are asset based. They have equity. You didn't know that they have equity, that they are useful, that they are valuable, that they affect you, and that they can determine a lot about your life. So I've mentioned that. But out of all of the kind of intangible assets and their derivatives that there are, I am talking about just one today. I did a very extensive research on it last year, and I did one or two trainings around it. Today, I'm telling you about the intangible asset called goodwill. And I'm going to show you literally how to transverse into it. But just like every other kind of asset that you know, physical asset, digital asset, financial asset, social asset, like every other asset that you know, intangible assets, one of which is goodwill as a derivative, they don't just come about. They don't just show up. They don't just appear. They don't just come about. They can be generated. You can generate them, you can build them, you can develop them, you can orchestrate them, you can trade them, you can convert them. So you can build and trade. You know the way you build your funds and then you trade with them and make profit. The same way, you can become active in trading intangible assets. When RCV started some years ago, all we have to start with were intangible assets. And one of the major intangible assets that we had was goodwill. So I have plenty of reasons to believe that I qualify both by learning and by experience and by certification to teach you about goodwill and teaching you about it as an asset base that you can trade with in this year. Many of the things I've gotten done as an individual have been done based on goodwill. I've been able to achieve a lot based on goodwill, not based on physical available assets. Meanwhile, I was trading in things that require or required physical, financial, or other kinds of tangible assets. What are some of what's the meaning of goodwill? Let's start from there. So I'm teaching you today on how to convert goodwill to profit. So the tangible, intangible assets I'm mentioning today is goodwill, 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 goodwill. So I said when RCD started, the much that I had to start with was goodwill. Goodwill brought people, goodwill brought resources, goodwill gave me entrance into people's offices for the first time to tell them what I had doing. And it's been 9 years, I have not run out of enjoying goodwill. How do you become somebody that enjoys goodwill? How do you convert goodwill? How do you grow goodwill? When you talk about emotional bank accounts, one of the things you can draw from people's emotional bank accounts when you have deposited into it is goodwill. So you see that these are invisible trading markets that a lot of people are trading and making a great life of, but some people do not even know they exist. So they behave anyhow. What is a simple definition of goodwill? Goodwill is a friendly, helpful, cooperative feeling, attitude, or action. It impresses you to know, and interests you, of course, to know that in accounting and finance, there is goodwill as an economic asset. Amazing. I was researching and because I'm not an accountant, so I never knew before. But I was doing extra research on my own type of goodwill I'm trading on. And I found out that businesses trade on goodwill. So for businesses, they say that it is that value that a company has that speaks to its reputation and relationship quotient. Good. What are some of the synonyms of goodwill? Number one, benevolence, kindness, kind-heartedness, compassion, goodness, consideration, charity, cooperation, collaboration, friendliness, thoughtfulness, decency, sympathy, understanding. You know, when somebody says show understanding, or when you show understanding on an issue, neighborliness, mutual support, and all of that. And one major opposite of goodwill is hostility. So if you take to a hostile life, do not expect to get goodwill in return because you have not traded the factors that will produce it. We're talking about converting goodwill to gains as an intangible asset. So in this year 2023, do you know, 2025, pardon me, do you know you can go to bed one night and wake up tomorrow morning, you didn't have a car, and a car will land in front of your house. That's how powerful goodwill can be. Because of something you did somewhere yesterday, that could be far yesterday or immediate yesterday, and someone just feels, what does this person need that I can do that can make that can use to reward this person? I say, oh, he doesn't have a car at the moment. Let's get him a car. And then they organize a surprise and go and keep it in front of the house. Goodwill can be as powerful as that. To attract goodwill in life, there are a number of things that you need to do. But I need to say that sometimes some people think that goodwill is an unfair advantage. They think that goodwill is an unfair advantage because someone just says, why is it? Is it only you? Is it only now only you day? Honestly, goodwill can come as gestures when it comes to rewarding you. And goodwill gestures can sometimes be seen as unfair advantage. You know that song by Mike Abdul, this Ojoro, eh, Ojoro. I don't know the song in full, but I know there's an Ojoro somewhere. And he's saying that the Ojoro that he got by what Jesus did for you, nobody can question it. So that was an unfair advantage to some people's mind. That someone can come and decide, I'm taking over your pain, I'm taking care of you. Goodwill gestures can sometimes be seen from other people who may not understand what you have sown. The seed you have sown, they don't understand. They will now feel that you are enjoying an unfair advantage. But when you merit it, you merit it. When you merit it, you merit it. So the beauty of goodwill to whet your appetite about intangibles the more. Before I tell you what you need to do, how you can trigger it, because conversion that is important. How do I trigger goodwill? How do I make it my portion? How do I live in homes I did not build? How do I get given land that I did not pay for? So goodwill has a favor tilt to it. It has a reward tilt to it. It has an appreciation tilt to it. It has a seed time and harvest tilt to it. How do I trigger it? How do I become somebody who enjoys goodwill? How do I go to bed today and tomorrow there's a visa and flight ticket and everything saying, we just want you to come to this country to come and relax in appreciation of blah, blah, blah. Come on. Isn't that a beautiful life to live? Come. If you are waiting for everything you will earn in 2024 to be as a result of your sweat, you will suffer. So you better add this to your game plan. I will show you shortly how to enjoy goodwill. But I want to whet your appetite sufficiently about how good goodwill can be, how sweet goodwill. Goodwill is interesting. It's sweet, like it's tasty. Ota, otalenu. Yeah, goodwill is tasty, spicy. When you enjoy goodwill, all of a sudden, what your own colleagues are sweating, struggling, racking their head to achieve, you are getting it on a silver platter. I tell you, just lands. They're like, there's a reservation that's been made for you to come and have a full spa service. And I'm like, to what end is this? And that. So I remember a particular day. Let me share a few of my own. I shared about RCV when I started. Thank you, Pastor Tunji. I can see you. Thank you so much, Pastor Tunji Adeniro. I appreciate you. So I'm talking about goodwill as an intangible asset that you must trade this year, and how you can trigger goodwill and convert it to value, convert it to gain. It doesn't just happen. Every capital that you know doesn't just show up. You build it, you walk around it, you build it and make it valuable, and then you benefit from it. So I remember a particular time I was just sitting down in the newsroom one particular day, and I wasn't having the best of time that day because something had happened that kind of dampened my spirit. And one of my colleagues just walked up to me and said, Miss Obasa, I have a voucher for you from First Bank. Oh, really? I was like, voucher for First Bank? How? From where? Before I could ask all this question, truly, as that was 20, that's some 11 years ago, thereabout now. So he handed me the voucher and said, this voucher is for you from First Bank. And I opened and he said, voucher for you to pick anything you like for yourself from any, what is this place called? This ICM, what that big mall in ICM? Guys, ShopRite, thank you, thank you. So this voucher to pick anything you want for yourself and your family from ShopRite. I'm like, wow. You know, it was soothing, it was encouraging. If you wait to work hard for everything you will enjoy in life, you will suffer ahead. It means that you are not taking the sharp route that has been provided in life for you. People have everything that you want, but people have to see that you merit something for them to trade it. So there are a lot of markets that you can trade in life. One of those markets is the market where intangibles exchange for intangibles. And one of such intangibles you can enjoy in life is called goodwill. It's a derivative of certain things. So long and short, I don't need to tell you the conclusion of that story. We went to ShopRite. I picked things for myself. I picked for my friends. I picked for every. It was so valuable. 50,000 was a lot more valuable than we had the car packed with a lot of things, and then I was very very happy. I was very very happy. So somebody may sleep today and wake up tomorrow. Okay, let me give another. I have plenty like that. Let me give another one. So my second trip, my first trip to Dubai. Was it Dubai? Yeah. My first trip to Dubai. Yeah. That was Dubai now. My first trip to Dubai was also a Goodwill ticket. That one was even shocking. So it was the anniversary week of RCV, and I'd gone with my team members. Usually we attend ELC as our New Year entrance into the new year as a company. Usually comes around that our anniversary week. So we go to ELC, all of us. So we're there enjoying the entire atmosphere. That was 2009. And someone just came and said, there's the message for you from blah 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 outside. I'm like, what is he looking for here? Why is he looking for me up and down? They wanted to make it a surprise. And so I stepped out because usually when I'm in anything church or anything learning, I don't move. Like I stayed there. Okay, that's me. I don't know. I'm not saying it's wrong if you do otherwise. But I'm saying that's me. That's the way I learn. So I stepped out and like, oh, okay. He said, here I have a visa for you to Dubai. From who? He told me that from my younger brother and his team, blah, blah, blah. They want me to come with the other team members to Dubai. All expense paid. Not a shingbai. You know what they call shingbai? I don't have to drop shingbai for anything. Like I just carry myself, pack my bag, enter the place, land, spend money, do everything, eat, enjoy, vacation, vacation. Some people say vacation anyhow. I'm just saying I enjoyed myself. I was for some 5 days and came back to Nigeria. Funkwem. So I know what I'm telling you about. Some people will watch this video and it will be the 360-degree turn for their lives. We live now in a world where I heard that the mantra for this year is no, what is it? Oh, no, is it no look anybody when no look you? Or no, I thought it was toxic. Even though last year there was a way I lashed on the no grief for anybody because I could interpret it in my own way. In fact, I did a what do you call it? When you sing all alone, another person sing. Um, Karaoke, thank you. I did karaoke around this last year. If you go online, I still see me trying to sing tenor. Try to sing tenor, singing. But this year, it doesn't fall within my frame of reference because it kind of telling you to care less about people who don't care about you. If you do like that, you will close your eyes. Bad person is passing, you close your eyes, good person will pass. So it's not a total picture. So I'm not getting on it. Goodwill. Goodwill. I'm doing this Goodwill series 1 and 2. I'll talk about it this week. I'll talk about it again next week, part 2, because I know I can't exhaust it. Because I have to sufficiently share real life stories so you know that it's true. You can wake up from a rented apartment and you are invited into a built apartment for you on Goodwill. On Goodwill. I know what I'm talking about. I've been given land that I didn't pay for on Goodwill. On Goodwill. How does it happen? How do you get there? How do you combat it? So I am not just telling you what I learned or read, I'm telling you the life that I have lived. The entire business of RCB started with Goodwill. People I knew as journalists who felt so honored that I have done my job the way that it amazed them, and also honored my employer, could not say no when I said, oh, I'm hosting this, I'd like you to speak. People speak for me for free. People have spoken for me for free, literally free for 10 years at NCPS. Notable people. Anybody you have seen at NCPS, including revered big people that you know. They have literally spoken for free. Goodwill. They don't do that for everybody. I have enough sense and common sense to know that. So, what is the message? This year, add goodwill to your hustle. As a hustle that makes sense. Oh, makes sense, pa. Also that makes sense. Goodwill is also that. But you see, goodwill is not what you go for first. There is what you do that instigates it. There are actions and life you live. So when I'm telling you about character development, one of the things that you can eventually hit as a jackpot in being a person of character is the enjoyment of goodwill. Very true. Very true. So for people take my character development training or talk as if it's something I should be telling children, you are missing a lot. You are missing a lot. So goodwill can make your journey faster. Goodwill can make your journey in life less stressful. Goodwill can make your life more amazing. Goodwill can make your experience more rewarding. Goodwill can make your life and experience more inspiring, more encouraging. It can do all of those beautiful things for you. So, how do I convert goodwill? My time is almost up. I'll stop whenever I'm able to stop, and then we will continue from there on Friday. But if you forget anything, I dare you won't forget anything. Don't forget that January 25, I'm hosting a training that is supposed to help you know how to convert goodwill. Because I'm taking you from self-worth, who to be to enjoy these things I'm talking about. How can I position myself? And some people are like, oh, 75,000 is so big. Well, compared to what you get, today is 10. So our early bird has ended. The only guys we can talk to that we can do any negotiation for are people who are coming in droves. Maybe you are bringing 10 people as a company. We can still consider talking with you. But an individual, it has closed today. Today is 10, the year of our Lord, 10th January 2025, the year of our Lord. So it has closed today. However, if you're coming with a number of people, we can begin with 5. We can still talk to you about bringing it down. But you see, imagine if everybody on your team understands that living a life in a certain way with self-worth can bring net worth. You won't have to wind them to do their job well. They literally know that this is fortune. I am cutting fortune literally, and I'm going to hug it anytime soon. So only one thing that I will add, I will give you today. Listen to the Rex when you join me next week. Be genuinely kind and helpful to people. That's the first thing. That's the first thing to be. Quality is kindness and helpfulness. Hmm. You see, in this generation that they say that you can't do anything without collecting money. This generation that say that what is in it for me, they never say what is in me for it. It will be difficult for them to get goodwill, to enjoy goodwill. You know why? Because goodwill doesn't just happen. Good will happen as reward and appreciation for something that is kind and helpful you have done. So the first person to be to enjoy goodwill is be a genuinely kind and helpful person. Keyword genuinely. Keyword genuinely. You know the importance of it being genuine because you might not reap where you sow, but you will always reap what you sow. You will always reap what you sow. Be genuinely kind and helpful. It's one of who to be, one of the self-worth to develop for you to enjoy the net worth. One of it, which is goodwill, is be genuinely kind and helpful. Do I need to start explaining what kind is? Kind is be nice. Kind is be fair. Kind is, and then be helpful. Things that no longer happen in our world. They don't help people to carry things when they are carrying heavy things. You don't help people to share their load. You are walking up the stairs. You don't have anything in your hand. A woman is going with you. You don't know who that woman is. You didn't even see as a young man that has bone that can I help you with your bag. You did not offer to help. Or you were not genuine. Some people will do it for you, but they are asking for money immediately. Goodwill cannot be gotten that way. Be genuinely kind and helpful. Let's see again on Friday. My time is up and I have to go. I am serving you the 40th for the training that is coming up. Come with your team. We can talk to you about discount if you're coming with your team. But if it's an individual, early bird has ended today. If you still pay before today ends, fine. You can do 65,000, otherwise it's 75. It is the most discounted training of this magnitude that I've done in a recent time. I'm expecting you, when it is birthday, Olusola-Obasa, I'll be sure that your life is going to turn 360-degree roundabout. This is the grace that I've come to serve my generation. And if I must go churchy, I'm anointed for what I'm doing. Anyway, so that's it. Goodwill and how to convert it, how to treat that goodwill is what we're talking about. The genuineness in what I mentioned today means that don't start looking at the person and say, they say when I'm kind and happy, they will give me goodwill. And you're looking for that goodwill. Don't search for it. It does not fail. It is run by the principles that run the world. The same way when you put your money in an investment, you expect returns on investment. There is return on goodwill, and they are all intangible assets. Imagine how I can enter into a project. I've entered into projects where when I was starting, I didn't have a dime for that project. But as I reached out to one or two people, oh, okay, why not? One of such projects is NCPS. No matter the glam that you say, it is not my money that is running it. I know that once in a while, myself and family will put stuff in, but it's people. And they do it not coming. You know that when they give you money, they say, you did not carry them advance. The people that give me money for NCPS, they don't wait for anything in return. They just feel like it's a privilege to be part of what you're doing. Goodwill. Goodwill. This generation needs to hear this message. And I'm glad you've heard it. Thank you, Mr. Dumati, a very wonderful teacher, now a fashion designer. Thank you. He said, well done, Marvin. God bless you. Amen. So let's teach our children this thing. As you're learning it, make it a multiple blessing by teaching younger people around you. Thank you for your time. I'm going to raise the song, the music to play louder. And we'll see you next Friday. If you've not paid for my course, January 5 is just around the corner. Today is 10th, I have 15 days to go. Please let me talk with you on bringing your team members in. And you'll be glad you did. It's holding here at RCD, not a far place at all. We didn't take it to Ireland this time. We are here. So join us. Bye for now. Thank you everyone that joined me on both today. I'm sorry, I saw once in a while the internet was misbehaving. I got you. I'll take care of it. Thank you, Alode. Thank you, Lekon. Thank you, Olusola-Obasa. Thank you, Adetun.